Good day everyone, a very warm welcome to you once again. My name is Nick and I'm battling a bit of a sore throat, but we should be okay. I'm on the Commodore 64 and we're looking at a game called Powertris as you listen to Green Sleeves. This was published by, now wait for it, Biuro, Informatyczno-Wydawnicze. Yeah, I know, I'll write it in the description below, I can't pronounce it. But it's quite a late release, developed by Venom Corp in 1996, so quite a late one. We reviewed quite a lot of Tetris clones on various systems. Tetris, the original game from Alexey Pajitnov in 1985. So let's have a look here. Now, various shapes. I don't remember this shape from Tetris. But anyway, if you don't know Tetris, you do, don't you? The shapes coming down are on the right. We need to assemble the shapes. I don't even know why I'm even explaining this, because if you don't know Tetris, what's going on? But anyway, every line we complete, it will vanish and we get extra points. And as we go forward, the shapes will come down ever increasingly quicker. Fire button to rotate the shape in the direction that you need it, and then you can go down quicker if you want to, and then direct it to where it needs to go. And that's pretty much it, really. So here we go. Let's see how we get on. Okay, so it's probably been me just talking rubbish now, because you know how Tetris goes. But it isn't expert gameplay. It's about seeing how you got on the games the first or second go. Showing your awareness for games that you might have missed back in the day, trying to relive memories. Occasionally I'll hit a game that you had back in the day that you'd never heard of, and then you're back there knowing, well, where you were back in the times. Okie dokie. So, on the Commodore 64. I never owned a Commodore 64 back in the day, you know this. I had a ZX Spectrum. ZX Spectrum came out in 1982, I believe. The Commodore 64 was a similar sort of time. A lot of competition. BBC Micro, Amstrad CPC, some other ones as well. Commodore 64 come after the VIC-20, but so Commodore 64 released 1982. Tetris was invented in 1985. Alexey Pajitnov. And I say, there's lots and lots and lots of Tetris clones about the place. My favourite one of all time, I might have said this before in any other game of Tetris we reviewed, my favourite one ever was Super Twintris on the good old Commodore Amiga, because it had amazing sound, and you could do two players as well side by side each other, trying to put yourself off. Let's see how long I can go. I make no apologies here. It's a sort of review of sorts, but it's me just waffling on. It's all about stress busting, having a laugh, and all that sort of stuff. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. One part of the channel is about reviewing the games, but the main part really is departure from reality. We can muck about a little bit and just de-stress for a little while. Now I know some people do watch it on a repeat or go through the playlist or on shuffle and all that sort of stuff. That's fine. That's no problem. You will get the occasional old review like that, but who cares? Let's just have a bit of fun. So how long am I going to last on this? Well, it's going very slowly at the moment. It's being very kind on me. It's very similar to the original Tetris. Looks like the occasional shape is different from the others, but they're all there. In the top left, you see my score. How many lines we've done so far. It's only 3. If you want to show off, you can do 2 lines at the same time. And on level 0, which is it at its slowest, you can possibly get. So if you want to track this one down, if you haven't reviewed this, played this particular one, it's Powertris. 1996, so quite a late release. I suppose you could class this as a homebrew, I suppose. Tetris clones go, maybe for 1996 it should have been a bit more funkier. Maybe you should have had music playing at the same time. But, if you type in Tetris into a search in the channel, I expect quite a lot of reviews to come up on various different systems. It's probably going to be the longest ever gameplay, if you're here all the way through, of this particular one. I might be wrong. Don't know what the world record is here, but I'm already filling up the screen, so I'm doing a few muck-ups. When you're watching, you see all the best places to go on here. When you're just playing like this and talking jibber-jabber, there you might muck up. So if you want to see other Commodore 64 reviews we've done, some are a bit more exciting than this, you know. But if you want to see other ones, they're all in a playlist. To get there, you click on my username. Takes you to the channel page. There's some tabs across the top. Click on that, and that will take you to the playlist, funnily enough. And the Commodore 64 will be there along with a load of other stuff. We've mainly reviewed ZX Spectrum stuff on the channel. The second biggest folder is probably Commodore Amiga, then Mega Drive, and then I think Commodore 64 and Atari 2600 might be wrestling halfway. The smattering of PS4 games, some PS3 as well. And back in the day, well, quite a while ago, we did Game Boy Advance, which was about 110, something like that, 110 reviews. A bit tricky to review those ones because it's such a small screen. When it blows up to a big screen that you're watching, it can get a bit, a bit fuzzy and a bit hard to see. Right, so already the halfway of the screen is fill up here. We're still on level 0. Come on, how many lines do we need to get to level 1? Do not know. We need some music. Yeah, so apologies if my voice is a bit deeper. We do about 6 game reviews a week. The show must always go on, regardless of how ill I am or how well I am. This time we're okay. I haven't been really speaking for a couple of days, but I'm back in business. I try to stay about 2 weeks ahead, just in case I have a bit of a bother and can't do anything. But yes, hooray, 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 hooray. Powertris. Good. It's a game where you wouldn't really invite a friend round to play, unless you want to get rid of them. I've been around too long. Do you want to watch me play Powertris? Well, see you later, alligator. Lines done 6, still on level 0. Perhaps it's 10 lines we need. So this is an unusual shape, isn't it? But it's a handy shape to have. I think, hopefully we get as far into this game so I can show you. But I think on this, there are a few different shapes that turn up later on to try and make it a bit extra interesting. What the game does offer, you see, we're doing the standard one where it's going down the screen. You can flip it on a different mode, so it's going up the screen instead. How about that then? That'll do your eyes in. Shapes are different colours. Where can I put this thing? Let's have a look. I think probably 10 lines goes up a level. There we go. So I was going a bit flash thing, making it go down a bit quicker than it was. It could spend ages looking for the wrong shape. I've seen world record attempts online with people playing these sort of games, and they're going down so fast. I don't know how their reactions are up to it. I really don't. What's the longest time? I'll put this to you. Not particularly this version of Tetris, but what's the longest game you've ever had on Tetris? We're on level 1 now. So what was it? It was 10. It doesn't seem to be going too quicker. But yeah, but what's the longest game you've ever had on Tetris? Didn't start off too good here, but I seem to be clearing the screen again here at my own leisure. Biffity biff. That's going to be another line there. Right. I think I could... Oops, that's a mistake. Accidentally clicked on the button to make it go down a bit quicker than it should have done there. I was trying to be a bit flash. I was trying to show off. But yeah, I mean... you could be, this particular one, it's not starting off particularly difficult at all, is it? I think you could be playing this for absolutely ages. Powertris. They always have to have the word tris on it. Yeah, we reviewed Nintendo 64. I think we reviewed a version of that on there as well. That's some rather cool backgrounds. Amiga had a few. Some great, some not so great. I think the best conversions of these Tetris games, the ones that don't try and reinvent the wheel, they just try and do what was there, give you a little bit extra occasionally. Now look on the right there. There's a shape that's not normally on Tetris. It's like a tunnel, sort of like a shape. It's going to come after this one. That's going to be a tricky one to work. What can I do with this? That is an awkward one. Anyway, that's probably the best I can do with that. Don't want too many of those coming down. That could be a big bother. Now, right. We slide that in there. La 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 la. Are you still with me? Comment if you are. Give me some Tetris trivia. Maybe by Alexey Pajitnov or something else. Or what music would you like to play here? So, I'm going to try and pronounce the people that published this again. I did write it down. If you can pronounce it, give me a bit of a tip below. I got Biuro, Biuro, then Informatyczno-Wydawnicze. I give up, but it's by them. A very late entry. So if you had a Commodore 64 back in the day, you might not have been aware of this before you moved on to the Commodore Amiga or something else. There was the Commodore 64 Mini that late adopters to the Commodore 64 might have had, or you might have that if you haven't got emulation. I think you could have, well, you could run about 64 games on that initially. The Mini came out in 2018. Was by Retro Games Limited. If you want a physical sort of like system, don't know how much that would cost now, whether it's still available. There was a smattering of mini devices around there. Spectrum Next is going. The Spectrum Vega was a bit of a cop-out, ended up being a bit of a con, unfortunately, because retro gaming people are quite trusting. There was a small PlayStation Mini that worked, I think maybe a SNES or Mega Drive, one of those, and an Amiga one. So it's all good stuff, but go to major companies rather than anything else. I'm not quite sure, because the Atari VCS there I'd followed quite a few years ago. Now, that was quite a toxic group that were following that Indiegogo. If you ever saw that, the comments there, they said it was going to be the next big thing. I don't tell you too much about that now, so I don't know if things is being developed for the Atari VCS or that's like died a death. If you know information about that, then comment below. Is it still thriving as a like cult thing, or has it completely disappeared off the radar? Right, there's another shape coming up here. It's a yellow cross. Oh man, Caravan. Now I've already been playing this game way too long for anyone to be interested in it. But who knows? It's about getting a result of how the game plays. Come on, voice. Keep going, voice. I knew I should have had an orange juice next door to here. Right, we aim the reviews to be about 10 minutes long. This one is a bit longer, I think, so far. But I will just end this go. I thought we're on level 2 now. But it's not really increasing a great deal of speed, is it, from one to the other? It's only me trying to make it go down quicker, really. I presume there might be some more other shapes hidden in here as we get into more and more bother. I'm quite tempted to deliberately go wrong here. Don't deliberately go wrong. Where can we shove that thing? Right. Dee 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 dee. I'm doing the music for Chips now. Dee 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 dee. Who can understand the brain? I don't think there was a computer game based around Chips. If you don't know Chips, I think it was an American show about some highwaymen with gold policeman helmets on. There's 2 of them. It was a little bit camp. And they would pull over people and solve stuff. I can only remember the music. I'm going to have to see it on... Is it on Netflix? I recently got Netflix. I have to check it there. Probably not. It's all those shows, wasn't it, back in the day? Retroland, Knight Rider, Terrorhawks, Dukes of Hazzard, and the good old boys, always up to no good. Retro time. It's all about, it's warm memories of that sort of era. Those American shows. Dukes of Hazzard, Chips. Yeah, put your favourite one below. Maybe not so Columbo. There's something that bothers me. What, on Tetris? Maybe. How many copies of Tetris do you reckon were sold on various systems? Probably billions, isn't it? Right, I'm slowly getting into trouble here. As I'm talking jibber jabber nonsense to you, I'm slowly getting into trouble with this shape bending super thing. If you're new to the channel, this is the first video you clicked on. You can see that you've gone into a whole heap of I don't know, craziness, stupidness. So subscribe. There's lots of videos for you to watch already on the channel. There's a good community here. I'm always trying to do some mainstream live streams. Nick, stay alive, Clive. I'm trying to do some live streams so I get back up to it, but it's tiring. It's tiring being me. So thank you to the members. I have to work and work and work in a supermarket to keep things going. But if I had enough members, I could do this full time and I could improve it and all that sort of stuff. So, it's like a treadmill. You have to keep going, and because you put in so much work, you will get the occasional energy crash, and then you'll start falling behind again, and that's getting the time back. Now, the background of this is not changing. It looks like it's going to stay the same. I was hoping that would change every now and again. Maybe it does later on, I don't know. So what can we say about this game? It's got some unusual shapes that turn up later on. It's a good representation of Tetris. It came out a bit late to take advantage of any success. Because it was late, it should be a bit better with like music and stuff. But what it does, it attempts to do well. It's not too bad. It's not wailing my socks off, and there's elements that could be improved upon. But it's all right. It's all right playing this every now and again. But if you've got every sort of like one of Tetris to choose from, choose Super Twintris on the Commodore Amiga. If you want to do a Commodore 64 stuff, well, this isn't a bad one to look at. You might have your go-to Tetris game on the Commodore 64. We might very well have reviewed it. But this is doing stuff and gives you a bit extra as well. And it doesn't look like this review is going to last a lot longer because I'm running out of space. Right, hang on. No, I think that's it. That is it, isn't it? You know when it's over. Okay, I really like that game. Bit hard to review and keep interesting, so if you stayed the whole way, you must like dodgy talk and nonsense chat. But if you want to track it down, I liked it. That was Powertris on the Commodore 64, published by that long name I said before, Biuro, Informatyczno-Wydawnicze, in 1986. Got any comments about this game, similar games, or anything retro, then put that in the comment section below. You're more than welcome. Until next time, take great care of yourself, and a very fond goodbye.
Goodbye.
Right, I'm doing the music for chips now. Who can understand the brain?